Aimless Babble Z, episode 277. I'm Taylor Master, joined by...
RPG Maniac 05.
And Traptical.
So yeah, we got so much been playing. Is there any... Well, no, there's no RR this week, so...
I'm sorry.
Maybe some other middle
At
subject, who
every turn.
knows?
At every turn.
And then, news, maybe? Whatever. So yeah, Destiny. Woo! Great to be back. Great to be back. Great to be back. Yeah.
That's really cool. I've seen there's been a lot of positive response towards House of Wolves.
Well, in all fairness, the Dark Below really couldn't go anywhere but up. But I think it might have something to do with the whole lack of actual raid at the time around too, because that last raid wasn't fun in this basic sense.
Yeah, but your mic is kind of or not your mic, but I'm not sure if your mic or connection, but you're kind of choppy.
Yeah, I know. Gonna have to reset my thingy in a second.
All right, so where should we start, Tropical?
Well, this was the week we played, or this was the first week we played it, right?
Yeah,
Or did we play it last week? It was this week then.
it was this week.
That's crazy. It feels like it's been so long. Oh no, we did play some
That's right.
last
We
week.
talked about the
but then
story missions.
Yeah. This week the highlights would have been, I guess, the
Because Prisoner of
trials
Elders
that we
wasn't
did.
out, and then Trials of Osiris also was not out. So yeah, what the f? The thing like there's a problem with the call red thingy came up, but I can still hear you, Tropical.
Yeah, it looks like RPG got disconnected. Yeah, man. Prison of Elders is pretty fun. I don't do you see it having a lot of replayability?
I don't know, man. To an extent, it's. I don't think there's enough bosses. But that being said, though, the 34 boss this week is really cool because it's like a mini Templar fight, and it's a 3-person fire team, so it's even more kind of insane to get through the encounter.
Now, actually, are the bosses different at the higher difficulty levels, or are they just like more difficult versions of the same bosses?
Higher difficulty level, you really only have they're the same bosses pretty much.
It's like, because does the Cabal boss
Actually,
change shield types
I haven't
in
seen
the
that boss yet
level
this
28
week.
one?
Level 20, he's not in level 28, the Cabal boss.
Oh, really?
Well, he is, but it's not the. Actually, okay, you're right. He's there, but he doesn't have shields that change.
Okay. So, yeah, like, there is... I mean, yeah, a caveat for Destiny in general, like, the bosses, they'll look the same, but then the differences are always, they tweak things like that. So 28 has all of the boss, like, characters. They just don't do the same stuff that they do at the higher difficulties. So you're saying, like, even the different variations, like, you don't feel like there's enough of them?
Well, the thing is it's basically based on the modifiers, and the modifiers, once you go through them all, you kind of know what to expect. So it's just a matter of swapping out your gear or whatever to deal with whatever modifiers on at the time.
So how many modifiers have you seen?
Quite a few. I mean, besides the ones from like the Nightfall, there's primary buff, special buff, grenades, regen faster, more damage when you jump. You take more damage when you jump. You do more damage when you jump. Let's see what else.
That's a weird modifier.
Like the reverse light switch, which is the Guardians do more damage when they do melee.
Brawler.
That
one's awesome.
Trickle, which is all your skills regen slower, like your super grenade melee. And like the one with like the shield, where it's like you have more overall shield, but it doesn't regen at all.
Ah.
So that's like
Oh, so
quite a
is
few.
that pretty much it?
There might be some
Because
more.
I've seen all of those. I thought there'd be more.
Not besides the burns of Arc and Solar and Void.
Okay, so those are all in there also.
Yeah.
Is there?
Oh,
Do
also
they have like
Juggler
the
and like
epic
stuff like
one?
that, and like well, like yeah, Light Switch is in there too. Epic's not in there as far as I
Okay,
know.
so there's not like more enemies
No.
than what they already throw at us. And then as far as the bosses go, like the burn thing that the big knight did last week, that was sort of it was it was unique, but it was kind of stupid the way you got around it, especially with Titan. Like it just felt like kids playing.
Dude. Get out the lava!
Because originally you just said Titans are supposed to use the shield, and that's how you survive it. So I just popped the shield, and then I would stand there, and it's like, oh, my life is going down. And then I think Gamer said, oh, you have to hop, and so it was like the three of us are like hopping inside of this little shield for 10 seconds every time he burned the ground. Like this feels really goofy.
Yeah, and then like the other thing is that when you fight that boss on the lower difficulties to where he's not 34 or
Mhm.
whatever the one above, or when he's oh hold on 35 is the level like one where he's above you. So it's when he's 34 and you're 33. If you're not 34 yet, it's like kind of tough. But when he's 120 or 32, it's not that hard because you're at level or above him, so you don't have the damage difference of like the penalty of that taking more damage being lower level against him.
Mm.
So it's not as bad.
So now 35 level 35 Prison of Elders has a is it a unique boss? Like is that the only place that you fight?
Yeah, that's the only time you can fight Skullloss.
Okay. And it the same every week?
No, it's a different modifier. I haven't faced him yet this week because I heard it was Arc Burn and I didn't want to mess
Mhm.
with it, so I was like whatever. So
But it's always Skolas.
yeah, it's always Skullloss.
That's the boss.
That
Okay.
well, the thing is like A, it's always Skullloss. B, he's a level above you, so it has like that stupid crap of like you don't do as much damage and you take more damage. So it's like ugh. And the encounters just the ads are super annoying and frustrating, and then it's like, yeah, if it was Solar Burn the first week, and it's like, dude, he has like a Scorch Hammer, so it's like, hits you in 2 hits, you're dead. If you're 33, he hits you in 1 hit, you're dead. So it's like, yeah.
Wow.
Only through using Galahorns and Weapons of Light Bubbles were we able to get through it, and then this week we haven't tried it, so, but yeah, I'm not sure how that would work, because all the Fallen, which are the ads for that fight, are Arc, except for the servitors and the captains with the Scorch shotguns. So that would not be fun. Well, and Skullloss because he has Scorch Hammer, but that probably does a lot of damage anyway. So it'd probably be like you get, hit by the other stuff that would burn you, and then that would like finish you off. So that would not be a very fun encounter. So,
Even the splash.
even the splash.
I haven't played that one
Possibly,
yet.
anyway. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
I-
worry about
I-
that, or I'm just gonna like do that one when it's solar because it's like, whatever. Otherwise,
I have, I guess, not necessarily refused, but I haven't leveled up to 34 yet, even though technically I can. I don't know. I was looking, I was like, well, I mean, is there really a reason to? Because we did beat the 34 Prison of Elders, and I was only 32 something at the time. And, but then, yeah, I guess, well, there's a level 35 one, so maybe I do need to be 34. I don't know. Does the game feel less grindy to you?
yes.
People think, yeah, it seems less grindy now with House of Wolves. It seems like all the legendary gear now doesn't have so many upgrade slots. There's just a few of them.
Yeah.
So that's much nicer.
Even the exotics too, actually, because I got this
Oh, really?
new exotic arms for the Titan, and they only had like 3 things to fill, so it was weird.
Huh. That's great. I actually don't have any of. Well, I think Icebreaker still has a whole bunch of them.
I think all the weapons still have a ton, but the armor not so much.
Oh, okay. Yes, I picked up another Icebreaker.
You're welcome.
Yeah, yesterday we
Yesterday was
raided.
awesome. Yeah, we just like destroyed the raids after. Well, for me, it's like I haven't raided in such a long time, and then like to go back and like still, it's like yeah, we still got it. It's like yeah.
Yeah. It was
It was like 6 for
interesting
6, did them all like super fast and like
actually.
legit style. It was great. It was great.
It was cool.
Those are
Crota
control
was
powered
just,
now.
Yeah. Crota on hard mode.
That's
It
what's
was
so great
we didn't
RPG.
even get to ogres.
It was like it felt like we earned it. It was like, you know, after all the suffering we had gone through,
All the
to come
pain.
back and be like, now you die, Crota, super easily. It's great.
Even with the second time we ran it, I was playing my 32 Warlock, who hasn't gone through Prison of Elders yet, and I wasn't really even shooting that much stuff because I would aim my gun to shoot, and then whatever I was aiming at would die, and it would be like gamer shot it once in the face, or someone else shot it once in the face, and I was like, I don't really need to do much here. I'll just like attract them so that they're not trying to hit you. And I think, was that the one? That might be the one where like half the team was basically dead for half of the raid, and yet still got through it. It's crazy. Yeah, we played Vault, which surprisingly we did die a bunch in. It was like, huh, that's weird. We thought we could do flawless, being so powerful.
Surprise, surprise! There's still like weirdness there that we just found out now that we use shotguns. And it's like, the Oracle pushed me off the stage. I didn't know they could do that because
both Tekken and I were killed by an Oracle.
that was stupid.
That's embarrassing.
Well, it was weird in mine because I got pushed off the stage, but I didn't land in sort of the abyss. I was just like stuck in this little corner, and it wasn't until we got marked because the Oracle that pushed me away didn't get destroyed that I died. Otherwise, I would have just been stuck in this little hole in the wall for the rest of the raid.
And then anything cool about Prison of Elders is like after the patch 1.1.1, I think it was, they buffed shotguns 100% damage in PvE against like all alien enemies. So it's like, yeah, PvE. It's like, like I noticed like everybody's been like doing this before, but like I had not tested this or tried this out until like just now, because there's this part in Prison of Elders. There was this, you got the special weapon buff in the wave or the round before the Skullus encounter, and it would take forever because basically when you get that, you don't do as much damage with your primaries or heavy, so it's like you do more damage with specials, but everything else is kind of negated. So it's like you can like just be awesome with like snipers and shotguns and fusion rifles, but man, shotguns, man, just and then it's like we found out the most amazing technique of like Titan Bubble with Saint 14, blinding them in the bubble, and then just shotgun them to death. It's just like, because captains are so annoying, and they have arc shields, and it's just like pop pop. If you have like arc shotgun, it's just I don't even think it matters what like element it is. It's just like they die so fast. It's like it's delicious. Just like melt them inside your bubble of death, and just like just so satisfying. And I was using it in the vault of glass for like on the right side when like the Vex spawn in that little cave and they come up the stairs, I'd put like a bubble on the stairs, and then like anything that went up the stairs was dead, and some like any of the stuff that went through the cave on the side of the bubble that like was the same path on the left side or on the other side, not all the way on the right side, it was dead. It was like it's great. And just yeah, new strategies, just delicious. Bubble shotgun death.
That's not really a new strategy. We've been using the blinding bubble since like the first raid.
Yeah, but you're just mailing them. You weren't shotgunning them.
I had the universal remote for like a while.
Yeah, sure you RPG, whatever.
Matter of fact,
whatever. Take all my glare away.
I'm just saying it's not new.
Not new.
You were the only one on the
I
team
never
that was
said
like
we weren't using the blinding bubble. I didn't say we were using the blinding bubble. We did that in Crota.
Shotguns are the worst weapons ever. Nobody uses shotguns.
That's why I'm saying. I'm glad they fixed that in the patch, because now it makes them viable again. So if there's an arc burn or whatever burn, I can pull out a different weapon that's not a fusion rifle, because it does even more damage.
Black Hammer is my response to that. And that is all.
I'm so glad you don't play anymore. Yes. that's my response to that. Come on.
I bet.
So does that make you want 4 horsemen?
I already have 4 horsemen.
Oh, you have it?
I'm pretty sure you got it before the
I
rest
kept
of us
all my
did.
I kept all my stuff charged, but
Oh.
I didn't dismantle anything because it's like
I
just
didn't
in
know you had it
case.
actually.
And then yeah, so now it's 365 because I like after that
Yeah.
after the Prison of Elders thing, I was like, oh man, I need to ascend this. So now I do like yeah, that's where I'm at now. I was just like trying to decide what I'm gonna ascend. But I think I'm gonna like start with armor. That way, I just have like a set of 34 armor, and I can just like throw in whatever exotic I need to have on me. So 'cause that's usually how I roll, and then I'll worry about weapons because I already have 365 weapons because of the our awesome adventures in Trials of Osiris that we had.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was great. I have no idea how that happened, but it did. That was great.
So I guess we haven't told the story. Like we started, and like Tekken and Gamer don't really play PvP. Gamer was very sort of.
Yeah, Gamer
If
was
you're
like,
listening, Gamer, like I don't mean this person, but it was like sort of complainy at the beginning. It was like PvP, I hate PvP, and so Tekken was really, he really wanted us to play some practice, and we determined that skirmish is the most like the mode that we're about to play. So we went into skirmish, which is 3-on-3 with respawns essentially, and it was on a new map. So I had seen it because I had played it early in the day, but Tekken and RPG or Tekken and Gamer had never seen it, and we destroyed them. It was awesome. I was like, oh man, I think we're gonna do just fine. And so we went into Trials of Osiris, which is it's skirmish except with no respawns. But you can revive your teammates if you get the chance to. And every time you die, like the respawn or revive sort of enable timer, it gets longer and longer. But anyway, so we started playing and we were doing really well. Like it's a best of, what do they call it? Best of 9, I guess.
Yeah.
Whoever gets to 5 wins. And we're doing really well. We won the first 4 straight. It was like, oh cool, we're doing really well. And then we were devastated when we lost the next 5 in a row. And it was just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And I think we lost. Did we lose the next game as well?
I think we went like 0-2 for like.
Okay, yeah, we
first 2
lost like
matches.
a few games, and I was starting to feel it was like, oh man, these two like they don't really want to play PvP, and if we keep losing, like basically that's it. Like we
That's
aren't
not
gonna
gonna
play
help.
this anymore. And then I was like, oh, this sucks. But then like we went on a run, and we were just winning one after another after another. I think it was after because both Tekken and I, we had more passage coins, so we had bought these buffs that basically they do special things for your record. So like one of them forgives your first loss, so it doesn't count against you. One of them gives you an automatic win, so you start at 1-0. And another one is if you win the next one, it counts as 2 wins instead of 1 win. And I think well, you didn't get to use that one on the first one, and I couldn't afford it. But for some reason, like Gamer, he lost 3 games before we did, and then so we had to go back and he had to get a new card, and then we started playing again, and then we just started like destroying the other teams. It was like, oh, we're doing really good.
Wait, so they count your losses separately for each of you, or
Yeah,
oh, that's
because because of the buffs that you can buy, like that's
Oh.
why we didn't all have the same records.
Yeah, every
because-
player has their own personal scorecard.
Yeah,
but I mean, if they still force you guys to go back because he lost 3 before you guys, then why do they even bother giving you guys separate records? Is it just like I don't know. I don't know.
well, like we didn't all have to go back. We just did.
Or you mean like he had to go back to?
Yeah,
so he
like he
continue
couldn't
playing?
join
Oh,
another
okay.
one
Yeah.
without a new card. But yeah, like after that, we started winning a whole bunch of them. We went on our Tekken and I's first cards. We went
I think we went 3 and
like 6-3. I think it was,
yeah.
and it was like, wow. I think, and you only need 5 wins to get the armor that you can buy, and it's like the armor is way cheaper than say Iron Banner. When you get up to rank in Iron Banner, you still need like 10,000 glimmer.
11,000. Yeah.
It's like that's almost half the glimmer cap. And then in this one I think it's like 500 to buy the rewards packs. And so yeah, we got the armor. It's like, oh man, okay. And we started looking at, what else can we get? It's like, ooh, silver pack, and like, ooh, the assault rifle. And Gamer was telling us like, if you get 9 wins, there's something. I was like, oh, okay. And so we went back in, and I think we won. I think it was like 7 in a row after that. But it wasn't like we weren't really destroying them. They were all really close. We went so many games where the end score was 5-4. And it was like, this is really exciting. And we were developing strategies about how to approach it. Like every game in Trials of Osiris is played on the same map. And that week it was the Burning Shrine.
Yeah.
So we had basically determined that it's better to be on the outside shooting in because the sun is blinding when you're trying to shoot out. And so we always tried, or in theory, we always tried to get around to the Bravo team side. I think there was only one team though that tried, like they were really playing with that strategy.
Yeah.
Where they were outside and they were just like, we're not going inside. We're gonna force you to shoot into the sun. Yeah, so we had 1 loss, but we had the Mercy buff. So it was still 0. And then Tekken we won the first round after we got that new one. So that was 2 wins for Tekken. And yeah, he ended up with 9 wins, 0 losses. It was awesome. The first weekend of Trials of Osiris. And we got one of us got the flawless thing. The best either Gamer and I got was 8-1 or 9-1.
Did you get 9 wins, Tropical?
Yeah, I got 9 wins, but
Yeah, because Gamer got 9.
yeah. Or did he get the 9-0
No, he got 9-1.
after? Okay, yeah. 9-1 was
I think he didn't take the Mercy or something.
second
Or he
card,
he did something like where he didn't do something where he would have got like an extra win, and
Yeah,
like
he didn't get Mercy.
he would have got it.
And then ours was you had to go back to get another card. And then the next team that we played was, I don't know if they're really good. It's just that we got killed really quickly. And so we lost that one. I was like, oh. So I got 1 loss, and then we won the next one. Yeah, it's super. I think it's. Tekken was saying Zaphro's missing out because I think it's pretty worth it to play Trials of Osiris. You get random drops that are also unique gear. Though not fully powered.
I think he's more against PvP than Gamer is. So
is it?
Because he kind of like went on a rant about how terrible PvP was like one time we were playing. So because I mean Gamer doesn't like it, but he'll still play. Because I mean I remember when we were trying to get that trophy for him for salvage or whatever, and he was just complaining the whole time we were playing. I was like, okay. I was like, don't worry, Gamer, we're gonna get this. But then like when he left because he had to go or whatever, I ended up getting the trophy like right after he left because I only needed like 1 more win, and then we had to. When he came back the next day, we had to do it all over again and keep on until he got it. So I was like, oh, Gamer. But yeah, he doesn't like it, but at least he'll still do it like grudgingly. But I think Zaphro's just like completely against PvP. But it might be because he's like super competitive though, so that could be it. And no one takes it seriously enough for that.
Yeah, I can't really remember the last time I played anything competitive with Zaphro.
It's actually funny. I was talking to Gamer about this, like playing it this like this high stakes and like this focused. It's like I haven't played it like PvP like this like since like Modern Warfare 3, or like Black Ops 1, or like when I used to play like the game nights just like for fun. It was like man, I was like totally like just dialed in trying to like do these guys like hit. I was like man, that like makes me all reminisce about the good old days. And then like the
really
format,
cool.
like the format the rounds were in, since it was like a round based thing of like like round by round, is like very similar to SOCOM of like whoever wins the most gets, or the first to 5 or whatever wins the whole match. So yeah, that's cool.
Yep. Oh, my favorite one was the Blade Dancer one. That was a cool win for me. It's like the buzzer beater. There was I think it was just me and Tekken left, and they had one guy on their team left, and he turned on Blade Dancer and killed Tekken. It was like Tekken started, oh Blade Dancer, and I was near Tekken, so I what did for some reason I decided the move to make was to charge the guy with my like
Oh
shoulder
yeah,
rush.
that was
So I
cool.
ran towards him, and I guess he thought I had a super or something
Yeah.
because he jumped away, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we can win this!" And his blade dance ran out, and so he started running, and then I shot him. And it's like, oh, that was the win, and so we won that one 5-4. I was like, oh, that was so cool.
That was like the other thing is like, you know, you get in those moments like, you know, someone has a super, or it's like you never know when someone has a super, so it's like it's like at any moment like someone just like, or like I was playing with another group of people. Oh, that's the other thing. I got drafted to like random people trying to like do Trials of Osiris because they saw my gear and that I had like done really good, and so like I got drafted to like two different teams. So like one team we weren't doing so hot, but they weren't that good, so it's like whatever. I did my best with what I had, and then the other team I got them their armor, so that was cool. So I was like, yeah. So and it's cool because like I was like, okay, well, if I did that, maybe I can like have like a pay it forward here moment. I saw someone else in the tower with like super awesome stuff. I was like, so Trials of Osiris next week, could you help me out? And I was like, they're probably not gonna respond, and they did, and they're like, oh sure, or something, and they're like, I was like, yeah, it's cool if you don't want to, you know, whatever. I just, you know, don't have any friends that are usually playing at the time I play and stuff, blah blah blah. And they're like, oh sure, send me a message on Friday. And I was like, yes, yes. So yeah, I already got another ace in the deck of cards to help me with that. So that'll be nice.
Awesome. Yeah. The moments, the clutch moments are really fun.
And then I had to like try to get with my other two characters since we only did it with my warlock. So that was a hustle too.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh man, I gotta get with my hunter and my titan to get the chest piece. And then this week it's boots, so it's like, yeah, I gotta get those for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was neat. Like, one of the drops that I got was just playing randomly was a scout rifle called the Scholar, and it was 365 starting, and it looks kind of cool. It's not as, I think it's like all of its stats are sort of lower than the Iron Banner scout rifle I've been using. And so I was like, well, it's cool. It's a scout rifle, and I can upgrade the range and stuff like that. But it's not. It's just like, it's okay. And then because Tekken got the 9 wins 0 losses, he got to go to, what was it, the Lighthouse?
Yeah.
It's like a secret social place that only flawless winners get to go to. And I watched his video on YouTube, and there's like a giant chest there, and he got the Scholar, but elemental. It was like a solar one. I was like, oh. I thought that was really neat. It's like, oh, that's how they're gonna do it. Like these new gun models, like sure, you know, we're just gonna give them out sort of randomly in the trials, but you know, if you're really good, you get better versions of them.
Yeah, it's like after I saw that, I was like, oh dude, they're totally gonna like fuck a ton of PvE people because it's like you can get elemental primaries
Yeah.
from PvP, so it's like, of course I'm gonna try to get those. Why would I not? It's like, and like you can have full range on that scout rifle, so I could just like sit back where the F ever and like PvE and just have awesome damage and not fall off. It's great.
It was interesting. Like earlier in the day, I was playing just on the new maps control, and I was trying to level up my multi-tool because at the time I wasn't sure how we were going to end up with any etheric light before playing trials at night. So I was like, okay, so I'll try to level this up, and then all I need is an exotic shard, and I'll be able to ascend it to 365. And you know, I'm not going to be level 34, but we'll see how it goes. At least I'll have a weapon that's powerful enough. But then I found like I don't like the multi-tool at all. It doesn't have, the scope is sort of not what I'm used to. I'm used to having like the red dot ones.
So fast and it reloads so fast.
And then like the impact is less than most scout rifles too. So I'm used to like when I'm shooting at a guy, I'll see his head sort of bounce, and then he can't really hit me. It's like, oh, that's really cool. But then with the multi-tool, it doesn't do that, and so they're still able to shoot me, and then I still die. And I was like, ah. So I ended up, I think the first etheric light I got was from playing the level 34 Prison of Elders, and instead of using it on armor, I just used it on my Iron Banner scout rifle. I was like, all right, I'm ready. When we go to trials, like, I'm ready. did not do super well with the killing. But I had my moments. Oh, the other one was that there's like this one place on the map, and like I think I just threw the lightning grenade and it killed all three of them because they were standing in just the right place, and it was one of those those movie scenes where the guy throws the thing past them and they're like, "Ah, oh, you missed," and then it killed them all from behind.
Yeah, I had that happen a lot when I was using my Titan. I was like, lightning grenade. I've been practicing, so it was great.
Lightning grenade is awesome.
People never
So
see it coming. 'Cause there's that part in the middle, if you're on the right, where like they'll just like hide in that hole. But if
Yeah.
you throw it right there, it's like pop, gotcha.
Kills everything inside.
So yeah,
So
I enjoyed not Iron Man, but I enjoyed Trials of Osiris. I must say that'll be interesting when it's like a week when it's like both Iron Banner and Trials of Osiris, unless they like don't have one when they're doing both. So
It's gonna be hard to convince people to play Iron Banner, I think. I mean, unless you're just like you don't want to play Elimination, because like the rewards are so much better in Trials. Iron Banner, yeah, like you grind so much to get to the point where you're allowed to buy the rewards, and then they cost a ton.
Expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, like I never have Glimmer anymore because I've been buying Iron Banner stuff. Even now, I think I only have like 3,000 Glimmer.
Because it does take for like forever. Because I mean, I
Yeah.
remember like when I was still playing, when I did like Iron Banner, and like just to get like two of my characters with the armor that was available, it's like, this is taking way
Yeah.
too long. So it's like,
It took me like most of the weekend to get two characters up to all of the armor pieces. And then, that's like, yeah, around 40,000 Glimmer. So after you spent your 2,500 or 25,000 that you can carry, you have to get another 15,000 somewhere before the end of the week.
yeah, whereas with Trials of Osiris, it's like I saw people with full like or either full or almost full sets of like the armor already, just because they got them from drops from playing it. So I'm like, what the f, man? Like, I want that Warlock helmet. Just whatever.
Well, so I think the ones that you can buy and the drops are different, right?
I would imagine so.
I think they're different sets. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
like,
different sets.
yeah. Because I have a chess piece that isn't the chess piece that you could buy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like, not the Watcher stuff, but it's like I saw someone with that sweet Anubis helmet. So it's like, obviously
Oh,
they didn't
really?
buy it from the dude because he didn't have it. So unless you got it from a drop. Unless they got it.
That's cool.
I'm not even sure.
Or they're a
Some other-
dev and they cheated.
is it really cheating if you're a developer?
Or it could be one of the guys who was invited to one of the reveal events. I think they just gave those people that stuff.
Whatever. Actually, it's funny because I was reading on Twitter, Bungie was saying something about like, oh, we're looking into this issue, blah blah blah. So apparently, I guess I was also supposed to get like an emblem and possibly some other stuff, but because my emblem slot was full, it didn't go to my post matcher because there's like a bug for it. So yeah, whenever that's fixed,
For the lighthouse?
yeah,
Man, that sucks.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. I'm all about the vanity. So it's like, man, now
See,
I
yeah,
want
that's
all the
actually about
different
customers
armor
I like
sets.
is that the armor sets, like, since you can send like old legendaries to the new
Yeah.
caps, it basically it resets the skills of like if you had stuff that was old that you liked that was cool, or like old weapons that were just really awesome, but they were just 300 peaked because you couldn't get them higher. Now you can, and
Yep.
then it changes the game because it's like, oh, guess who's back? Because I have my scout rifle. I've been waiting for like my flipping Crusader 1 to just finally be able to just like flip the switch and be like be awesome again. And that is one of the first things I will ascend once I get the chance, because I'm like right now I'm just focusing on my armor, because it's like once I get, because the stuff that you get from the armor pieces that you get from running Prison of Elders every week, you can only get one anyway. So I'm guessing they're going to give us like one each week. So after a couple weeks I'll have like the full set of that. So that'll be like a 34 set. But then I'm going to like ascend the like all the raid gear, so it's always 34, or not always, but so I can just like use that with the exotics when I go in to like have the stuff I need. Yep, and then weapons are fine since I picked up 365 stuff so soon, and they gave it to, like, and they have like the weapon stuff you can get so easily, so that's nice. I'm really liking House of Wolves.
Awesome. That's cool. I was worried that everyone was leaving Destiny actually. Sort of like RPGs worry often with multiplayer games. It's like I don't want to buy them, and then everyone stops playing, and then it's like, oh, I just bought this, and no one's playing anymore. It was looking like that with Destiny for a little while. But yay, people are back.
And then like there's people that like weren't playing with us in the like the beginning that are like already up to like where we're at
Yeah.
now, like Icebreaker or not Icebreaker but Iceman.
It's a much smoother experience now, I think.
Yes, a lot easier to get the stuff that you need.
Yep.
Unlike the first, yeah, way long ago in the beginning of Destiny, when it was such a grind. Oh.
Really, like, it does remind me of the sort of MMOs that I played, like Star Wars Galaxy in particular. Just like the way it started and how it was very different later. Like, yeah, in the beginning, and now I know why. It's like there were no vehicles because those weren't a priority. They were just like, well, you don't have to have a vehicle. So I spent most of my first week just walking across the planet to get to another town that had a spaceport. And then there was nowhere to go. This was kind of like that. It's like, oh, you played through it all, and then it was like, oh, now to get to the level that I want to be at, I just have to do what I've been doing, but a lot more. And now it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, and then after Prisoner of Others, it's like it's cool to see that they can add on more stuff that is like co-op centric, but just a different activity, and have it be like really in depth. Like, not as I mean, it's not as fun as a 6-man raid, but it can be like up there because the 34 boss this week it's like very similar to like a mini Templar fight. Because it's a Vex boss and he detains you, but there's a buff you have to get from killing a certain enemy to break everybody else's detain bubbles and yourselves, and then you have to like it's pretty cool what they do with that. So that was nice.
That's neat.
So after that, it's like okay, I guess there's like still stuff they can do with like all the mechanics and enemy types and stuff in the game to keep making it nice and fresh until the next update or next content update or whatever. And then there'll be more new stuff. Yeah.
Woohoo!
But yeah, back on the Disney train.
Fun.
After I thought I was getting off, I'm back on.
So did you play anything else, Tekken?
Nope.
Our only hope?
Nope.
Really?
I've been playing this all week. Cause I just got sucked back in rather.
The crack out.
Yeah.
So Project Cars is just sort of.
Yeah, it's just in there. It's like whatever.
Good thing you didn't get The Witcher.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to Gamer about that. I was like, so Gamer, I noticed you've been playing this every day. Have you even played The Witcher 3? And he's like, I played a bit.
I remember when I used to do that. It's kind of liberating to be like, I don't need to play it right now. It will still be a new game to me whenever it is I decide to get it.
Yeah, and then luckily I finished Mercenary King, so I don't have a backlog game. So it's like, I'm free from my backlog right now. I'm just playing what I want. And I want to play Destiny, so...
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know what this podcast is going to become because RPG hasn't played anything, and I've only played Destiny, and Tekken's only played Destiny.
Well, 1 month from now, Chapter Call, Batman.
Well, yeah, like at that point, next week it'll probably potentially be better too. But really, actually, yeah, I feel what RPG is feeling, where it's just like E3 is coming, new stuff is being announced right now, so I don't feel a ton of desire to play the stuff that I have now.
Yeah, because it's like it's not new, so why would I want to play it? Like, despite the fact that
it's like the new hotness, even the new hotness we don't know about, is sort of making the now stuff feel like, why bother? It's gonna be outdated in a month anyway.
I mean, usually it doesn't get like this until it's like closer to E3 though, because I think like before usually it's like okay, first I'm excited, and then it's like I want to play all the games, so then I'm just like playing like everything I have. But then it goes into well, now they might announce something like a certain game from a franchise or something, so then I'll like try to replay like games in certain franchises, so it'll be like specific things. But I couldn't find like any of the games I wanted to play this week for some weird reason, so I was like, okay, I'm just not playing anything then. So I pretty much just skipped over that phase and just went straight into just not playing anything. So I probably won't play anything until like E3 actually gets here. So yeah, I'll just skip the podcast for the next month. It's fine, guys. It's fine. But yeah, it's.
What should we call them? It's not really Aimless Babble Z. It's like something Destiny, something aimless. I mean, I'm still super obsessed with Disney Infinity, but I haven't really played the game. Like recently, I've just been looking at the number of figures that I've accumulated in such a short time. Or I don't know if that's actually true because a lot of them I just never opened them because I never really played the first one. But now that I've opened most of them, it's like, now I have a problem. Like, where do I put these? For a while, they were just all on the shelf underneath my TV, but then it was just like a ton of little things under my TV. So now I have them on the mantle above my fireplace. And they look pretty cool. Like I arranged them by franchise, I guess, and playset. So I was like, oh, they actually looked at them and sort of like all the bases of all of the characters from the same playset have the same style. So like all the Avengers are standing on what looks like cracked concrete. The Guardians are all standing on like spacey type metal with grates and stuff. The Wreck-It Ralph characters are standing on, I guess they're cookies with chocolate frosting on them because of Sugar Rush.
Oh,
There's only two of them. So it's like, oh, they look really cool. And then so I haven't really touched them because they look really cool. That's not really a toy then. They're more like statues, as I keep thinking. Yes. Still super excited for 3.0. But yeah, mostly excited for E3. How many weeks until we get to do the pre-E3 thing?
I think pre-E3 is like next week possibly.
So 2 weeks.
It's gonna be June, right, or something.
Yeah.
So
well, it starts on the 16th, right?
Yeah.
Well,
the 15th because Bethesda conference is the Sunday.
Right. So 15th. Oh, did any of you have? I just found out today that the theater in my state participating in the PlayStation Experience Live, like the theater event, is that new theater I was talking about that they built next to where I used to live.
It's just like an hour away from you.
It's an hour now. It used to be I could almost walk there. Dang it. Sucks. Oh well. If I was there, I wouldn't be able to do the podcast. Gut reactions. That's always fun. Okay then. I guess we won't get to talk about that today.
I'm sorry, was that? Were you looking forward to that? Is that what's
Yeah, I want to talk more about E3 stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But the time has not arrived.
Next time, Tropical. Next time, just for you. We're gonna do a pre E3.
Pre E3. I mean, man, there's a ton of games out there. So many. I was just reminded today of Firewatch, which was that one game. Who is behind that game that makes it exciting? Do you remember?
I don't even remember.
I don't know.
You don't remember Firewatch? Firewatch is the one where you're like a park ranger or something.
No.
And it's a first-person game.
I have no.
Oh, really?
I feel like you
This
just made that.
this
No, it's real.
is the first I've heard of this tropical.
Hmm. Okay.
It's like I understand that they like to announce random things, but I feel like you just made that up.
I think they announced it at PAX Prime last year because I remember talking to Gamer about it in person. Okay. What are we gonna do?
PAX together?
Hmm?
You both
Yeah,
went
we
to
went
PAX?
to PAX Prime
Oh, I did. Wait, I don't
last year.
remember that. Huh.
Someone's paying attention.
It's not a fact that I just didn't remember.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
for like
I
a
think I
year.
remember to say-
I wasn't there, so it's not something I remembered specifically. I'm sorry.
It was cool.
So can we
Can't
just
afford
go
to
into
go
the
every
news now since we have nothing else to talk about?
Do we have news?
No, not off
See,
the top of my head.
that was the thing. I was like, I don't know if we have news.
Good job, Tim.
I actually can't think of any news off the top of my head either. It's just, more and more of the news right now is speculating about E3. Maybe that's why I want to talk about E3 so much.
Is
Like,
that
that's what
what
I'm
it
reading now. I guess like there's more and more sort of Batman Arkham Knight pre-order bonuses that are being announced. I think they just showed for the first time like the PlayStation exclusive stuff. So it's like Scarecrow missions. I think they talked about before. You also get a Justice League 3000 skin for Batman, which it was a New 52 one that I never read, so I have no idea what the reference is. And then also the classic Adam West Batman costume and Batmobile skin.
Oh, you should never not play the game with that then. That's just yeah.
It should change the music. And there should
That
be
would-
like pow and bang and stuff when you hit people. That'd be cool.
Oh my gosh, that would have been cool if they did something like that.
Then I understand, I think on the Steam pre-order version, there is the Batman Beyond skin
Ooh.
and the Dark Knight Returns skin.
Mm.
So,
I'm gonna finish Arkham City, and then when I do, I can get Arkham Knight.
so many skins. Oh man, I just saw, have you seen Batman versus Robin,
No.
the movie? Oh, that one's good, actually.
Just
It's not as, like-
in it.
I
Just
think
it's not
Damien's gonna die in the next one. It feels like so. What they did, like you sort of think when you see the trailers for Batman versus Robin, you think it's gonna be the Court of Owls story,
Mhm.
but it isn't. Like they just use the Court of Owls in that story, but it's more about Damien than the actual Court of Owls story was, and or like the comic version. And so I think it's sort of. It could be,
They're playing
Like
Joss
a-
Whedon. They like build up your character and then, haha, gotcha.
yeah. That's what it feels like. It feels
That's
like
one of the few times I'd actually be happy about it, though, because God, I don't like Damien.
Batman, Son of Batman was like the beginning of maybe a trilogy,
Ah,
and then Batman versus Robin is the second part, and then there's going to be a final part where we all know what happens to him. Although in the comics he did come back. I'm not sure what happens in Are you reading Convergence?
no, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm off. I'm off the DC train, and then after Secret Wars, I'm done with Marvel because it's like
Okay.
no more events and tomfoolery of your continuity.
It was sort of neat. Like I saw a preview of Convergence somewhere, and it was the Injustice universe. And I was like, wow, the Injustice universe is part of this? That's really cool.
Well, it's part of the multiverse, so yes.
Yeah, I guess because the Injustice comics, that's a comic. And it had like, I think it was the guy who draws that one was drawing it. I was like, oh, this is really neat. I wonder if that continues after Convergence ends. Or are all of those lines just going to be retired? It's like, well, none of these exist anymore. Back to regular continuity.
Oh, that's what they said after New 52, but how that happened, Tropical? Look what happened there.
Weren't
Yeah.
all like the Crisis books also about that? Like Final
More or
Crisis was
less.
supposed
Yeah,
to be
pretty much.
merging all the multiverse.
They've apparently
and
done
then-
this multiple times
Yeah,
at this
like,
point.
for some reason-
it just doesn't stick.
the multiverse is undeniable. Every time you destroy it, it will always come back.
You can't destroy the multiverse.
That's the lesson.
It's like you thought you got rid of me, but I'm back. We're all back.
Yeah, Batman versus Robin. That one's good. I'm sad I didn't buy that one. I'm sad that I bought Throne of Atlantis and got jaded and didn't buy Batman versus Robin, which is actually good because I finally got to see it. It's like, oh man, this one's good.
Wow, what is Throne of Atlantis about?
Let's see, Aquaman.
Gross.
Okay, then I'm done.
It's like party's
I
over.
really can't remember much, or I guess it's like a political struggle in Atlantis or something.
Isn't there always a political struggle going on there? You'd think he'd just like
Suppose.
everybody at this point. It's like seriously. Oh, Aquaman, get your kingdom together.
The next one seems cool too. The next movie is I think it's called Justice League Gods and Monsters, and it's just like a totally original piece in which there's a Justice League, but it's not the it's not like the evil Justice League. It's just like
this one's like a Trinity, but it's like an alternate universe style.
Yeah.
Of like Batman's like a vampire.
yep.
Oh yes.
Wait, what?
It looks kind of cool. Like what they did is they started
from Mexico or something.
they wanted
Even better.
Superman is actually Zod's. Zod was his father, and then when he landed on Earth, he wasn't found by Midwesterners. He was found by like migrant workers from south of the border. So he has a totally different outlook on life. And Wonder Woman is, I think his name Odin, like the new gods, like his wife or something. So she's from that planet that's near Apocalypse. And then Batman is the guy who was Man-Bat, but turned himself into a vampire instead.
This sounds
And he-
awesome.
Yeah. And he decided, oh, I can fight crime because I need to drink blood, but I'll only eat bad people.
Isn't there a Marvel character similar to that or something?
Probably.
Mobius.
Oh. When is that movie supposed to be coming out?
That one comes out in July. That one
Because
seems
now I
kinda
kind of want to see that.
cool. I'm like, oh, this one's
Sounds
kind of
hilarious.
Everybody's gonna watch it and be like, man, this is way better than that, man.
It's like, this is the best movie ever.
What the F, Marvel?
Kevin Conroy plays Thomas Wayne in Batman vs. Robin. I was like, oh, now you're the old guy playing Batman. Jason O'Mara is now the voice of Batman.
Is he now?
I guess so. I didn't like him in the first one I saw. Which
Maybe
was...
We just got used to him being the voice.
I guess.
Like, I guess I accept this.
I think it was was it? Oh yeah, it was Justice League War was the first one he was in. And that's when they decided all of the movies would be in the same universe.
Because
And then they decided to do one that's not in that universe. So this is why the multiverse can never be destroyed. Writers get bored.
Oh, there
They're
was
like,
the Oh wait, didn't we talk about the Need for Speed thing last time? Yeah, we did at the very end. We mentioned it. 'Cause I
The
said
Need for
Underground
Speed?
2 was great, and then after that, yeah.
Yeah, they're saying it's a reboot, so it's just
What does
called
that even mean? What does that even mean? It's a racing
That-
game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
It's not like
new...
there's a story or anything. Like you have to follow
Parts
characters.
are gonna be slower.
I was like, because usually reboots means like it's a continuity thing, right? Where it's just
Yeah.
like story change and stuff, but do all the Need for Speeds like exist in the same like universe or something? And there's like an overarching story that I just didn't know about, or because I mean, you don't really need to reboot a racing game. You just make a racing game and make it prettier. You don't have to reboot it. So I don't know. Maybe there is like some kind of like super important story thing going on in the new reboot or something, and they just I don't know. Maybe there's so many changes that you won't even recognize it as Need for Speed or something. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
they might be saying that just so they can justify not coming up with a subtitle because it's just called Need for Speed,
It could be
and they're
that
gonna
too.
show it at E3.
It's like yes,
Actually, yeah, like Capcom, we talked about them saying that they're just gonna do HD remasters, right?
Yeah.
they're just gonna do a bunch of them.
Well, there was a
They
YouTube
announced
video.
they announced the
Yeah,
new.
Zero. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody wants this. It's like I was kind of annoyed and angry because like watching the video, it's like yeah, it's like whatever.
Well,
Did
it's
you play
possible.
that one?
I have it. I've played it, but it's like the annoying thing is like essentially it's just they're just following the pattern of like the stuff that they've done. Like those were like the games that they put on the GameCube. It's like the ones they have like I guess the HD assets for. So it's like obviously it's like
Mhm.
it's whatever. It's
Maybe
whatever.
they're gonna HDify the whole series. Because I mean, I know
I'll
people
believe it when I see
asking
it,
for
dude.
other
It's coming next year, so I guess we're getting one a year because they have it on hand. And it's just like, oh, we'll see what happens. We'll not. We'll
Like
just be
the one
risk-averse
that
with it.
everyone wants,
It's
Resident
2.
Evil 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people asking
Why
about
haven't they
two.
done that one yet? That one will take a lot of work, I suppose. So that's probably why they haven't done it yet. But why haven't they decided that they want to do it yet?
They probably have. They just haven't announced it, so people will keep asking. Like, so when is it coming out? When's it coming out? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? What about now? What about now? Is it now? 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 So they're probably just like doing things slowly, and they're just gonna like Tekken said they might do it like every year. Because I mean, when you think about
I
it,
have enough of them.
Because Resident Evil, what 7 would be the next one in
Yeah.
the group. So I mean that
Wow.
since
They're just buying their time while they
and
work on
they're
7.
probably holding and since there hasn't been like a Resident Evil movie for them to like steal stuff from, they have to like kind of we're like well we need to like kind of fill our time for the time being until we can play around with stuff and make Resident Evil 7. So they're probably just gonna kind of slowly trickle those out, and then it's like yay, now Resident Evil 7 can happen, guys. Love
It was
us.
funny because we were talking about what else can they remaster? It's like this was sort of an obvious one that we missed in our collective mind. So obviously, yeah, no one was thinking of it.
Well, it's not that I wasn't thinking. I just didn't want it. So it's like whatever.
So that's rapidly. Well, Resident Evil remake came out or remastered came out in January. Then on Tuesday, Ultra Street Fighter 4 for the PS4. That's a remaster, so that came out. Devil May Cry comes out in
I still find it funny that they call these like HD remasters of like games that are already like HD.
in
It's like
HD.
it's like
Well, they're not calling them HD remasters. Like Ultra Street Fighter 4, they're just saying it's the PS4 version. It doesn't even have a subtitle, I don't think. It's
so it's
just
just like
Ultra
port
Street Fighter
thing.
4. And then like brackets PS4. And like Resident Evil, it's not called Resident Evil HD Remaster. It's just called Resident Evil, and then brackets PS4. DMC did have one that was called the Definitive Edition. Devil May Cry 4, I think, is also called Definitive Edition.
I don't think so. I think it's like special third edition or something like that.
Oh,
If-
really?
Yeah.
Some crazy long
Something
Capcom English name.
Yeah. You know how they do.
And then yeah, now Resident Evil 0 brackets PS4.
Hmm.
So yeah, these are the easy like low hanging fruit. Do they have more? I wonder why they haven't done Lost Planet. Was that just not popular?
I don't think that was as popular as some of their other series. Because I mean,
Like Dead
the only person
Rising?
that liked it was like Dagger. So I mean,
Well, the thing is like they also changed they were trying to like change the direction of that franchise after the second game.
Oh yeah.
So
a lot of people didn't like the third one
yeah.
because they did apparently make like a bunch
Monster
of
Hunter, I
changes.
guess. Remaster the first one.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll happen. I don't know if Monster Hunter is popular enough to warrant them to, because I mean they still barely even put out Monster Hunters over here to begin with, so it's like they might not even waste
What is
the
this? Like,
effort.
Bionic Commando did not do well, so the 3D one is probably gone. I guess like the Rearmed, the first one anyway, was pretty good, but man, it already. I don't know what you could improve there.
Don't know. I mean, they're already doing remakes of like their biggest their biggest franchises right now, so they
Wasn't
probably
there
want
talk at some point of a Darkstalkers game? That's something people want, right?
I don't
I don't think so.
so.
Hmm. Well,
Because
that's
people
not
would
going
have
to
been
happen now.
all excited about that. But, oh, I don't think so.
I guess there was
It's
that
not-
thing with the Humble Bundle for Nintendo, but I didn't look at what it was. But I thought that was something that
That's
would
kinda
be neat
neat.
if it came to PSN, because I'd buy it.
Because it's a decent number of games, way cheaper because it's pay what you want. Than on the eShop.
What if I wanted it for free?
I actually think you can do that on Humble Bundle.
Oh. Hmm.
Or like a penny is free, right?
More or less. I mean, I could go outside and find one of those somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that works. Or one of those take a penny, leave a penny things. I'd like, I need to buy video games. I need to take this. It's for a good cause, guys. It's for a good cause. Increasing my backlog. So many.
So I'm kind of excited for Splatoon, which I found out comes out on Friday.
I've been hearing a lot of people say good things about it, so that's
Yeah.
cool. So
Should I play that?
I think you should, because I have to play vicariously through you. So until I actually get a Wii U eventually, so that's the only way this is gonna work.
I mean, it's multiplayer online stuff as well. I mean, there is a single player, but multiplayer online. But it will have the advantage that Destiny has in that no voice chat. That's
Yes.
great.
The best kind
That's
of
how you want to
chat.
play with your friends, but actually, I don't know that many people with Wii U's. So yeah, it all works out.
What, do they not have party chat on the Wii U? Gosh, Nintendo, get with the times. Get with the times. Yeah, I think because I mean I saw like a video. Well, I guess it was like one of the single player things because I think it was of one of the bosses or something. Because this guy was like fighting like this cube or something, and you had to like paint the sides of it to like swim up to the top to like hit its tentacle.
Oh wow!
And like it like changed the pattern of the things you can paint on it, so you have to keep doing that until you can get to the top and do that. I was like, that's kind of cool. It's not like
Classic Nintendo boss battles.
yeah, so I was like, that's a pretty cool thing. So I don't know, like if like the whole single player campaign is like stuff like that or what, but I don't know. The game it has like an interesting concept. So I mean, it's something I hope actually does well, so people are okay with like doing weird stuff like that more often. Because otherwise, if it doesn't sell well, then that means we're gonna get more Mario games, and which might not necessarily be a bad thing. But at the same time, it's like there's other stuff out there, Nintendo. There's other stuff out there. So yeah. So it should be interesting to see how that goes.
The only two things I've seen as I've been looking for stuff is that Until Dawn got a release date, which is
Yeah,
August
August
25th.
25th. Yeah, in
Ooh.
here it's the
That's
20th in some other territories and 26th somewhere else. And
So
then
pre-order stuff too.
and
so-
then also the former Rational Games people revealed Perception.
Some sort of horror game.
Yeah.
I saw it's supposed to be like when you're playing as like a blind person or something, and you like hit stuff with your cane to like give you visuals of the environment.
Hmm.
But then from the sound of it, though, it seems like they might kind of rely on cheap scares that way because it's like you might hit your cane or something to get like a visual. Because it's kind of like the first Daredevil movie where he did that thing where he hit
With the
stuff.
raindrops.
Yeah, that whole scenario thing. So it's like it seems like that's kind of how it plays. Though they can use that as like you hit something, then all of a sudden something just jumps out in front of you or something because you couldn't see it before, obviously. So I don't know.
Mhm.
So I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, it would be kind of terrifying to be blind and in like a house full of poltergeists. So I mean,
But how do you hit them? And if you can hit them with your cane, are they as terrifying?
well, I don't know anything about the combat. Maybe you can only like run from them or something. So I don't know. Like I said, it in a real scenario, it would be terrifying because it's like you'd be kind of defenseless because not only are you blind and then now these things are trying to kill you. So it's like, okay, how does this work? So yeah.
Actually, I know I haven't seen any news because I've been playing Destiny all week. That's why.
Well, yeah, we established that already.
Vacation.
We knew that was why.
Vacation is great.
It is.
So,
That was a really cool visual in the Daredevil TV series. Because they did the same thing. Like, Daredevil can see.
Yeah,
It's
like
just
everything's on fire.
kind of.
yeah,
all the time.
it's like a world on world on fire. It's like
That doesn't sound pleasant
wow.
at all. So that sounds terrible.
I totally understand why you are the way you
Yeah.
are.
All I see is burning everywhere I go. It's like that is a terrible way to live. I'm sorry. That just sounds awful. Just awful.
It's just like that's a neat visual, provocative visual. Because like, you know, they could have done it the way the Daredevil movie did, but it's like nope. Like it is much more makes you prone to brooding, I think.
I mean, wouldn't you be if everything in your world was on fire? It's like,
Oh man.
yeah.
All right, so I guess we can wrap
We
it up.
jabbered enough. You guys got your entertainment in.
Cool.
We have provided the entertainment you came to us for. In that case, thank you for listening. E3 approaches, and so like, you know, you can already tell we're at least two of us are super excited. So we're not playing anything, and so yeah, the episodes hopefully will become better and more involved as we approach that in 2 weeks. So until then, check us out, aimlesspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, Twitch, and iTunes.
Anything to say before we sign off, RBG?
Stuff and things, guys. Stuff and things.
All right, so yeah. Find out what we've been playing next week, unless we still haven't been playing anything.
I'll force myself to play stuff.
And until then, it's Aimless Babble Z, and we're now signing off.